Today, I want to talk about what's coming for Bitcoin. We have started a new month. It is June now. So, are better days coming for Bitcoin. I think this is positive, and I mentioned this last night too. So now there does seem to be this, I don't know, there's this new notion that I already said should have been in place for months already. This notion of, hey, maybe we don't need to keep raising rates. Maybe we just stop. Maybe we just stop and evaluate what's going on in the U.S. So that's looking like it's going to happen. Of course, we have the new vice chairman nominee that's saying this. It's not Powell saying this, but since he's saying it and he's the second guy, he's going to be the second guy in charge, right? People are thinking, well, this makes a whole lot of sense, right? So the prediction for the rate hike for this month, okay, in a couple weeks, June 14, has now risen, or I should say the chance of it being zero is now at 68%, right? So it has risen quite a lot. 25 basis point hike, around 32%. So after his comments, excuse me, things switched up really, really quickly. So this is good. This is very good. And this is coming in June, right? A rate pause, not a rate hike. Although he did say that if there is a pause, doesn't mean that there won't be a hike afterwards, but at least it gives the Fed a little time to kind of digest the situation, right? That's kind of like, okay, do we need to raise more, or we should start cutting? Like, what to do, right? But what's not good is, the dollar and the buying power of the dollar. I've shown graphs like this many times in the past. Just keeps going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. But ultimately, how about we just stop? How about we just stop printing money, huh? How about that? Let's try something new. How about we not overspend and not overprint? And we have entered June, which traditionally speaking has been pretty good outside of 2022. And the reason 2022 was so horrible is because of everything that collapsed, the Black Swan event, pretty much for crypto. We had so many crashes that happened in 2022. So of course, that led to one of the worst sell-off months ever recorded for Bitcoin. In fact, I think I'm looking at all the red right now. I think that was the worst recorded month ever for Bitcoin. Yeah, it was. So last June was not good. So this is one of the situations where we don't want history to repeat. And I don't think so. Unless the U.S. truly defaults, we're not going to see a negative 37%. I don't think we're going to see a negative at all. I think this year, 2023, will be a good year. And the reason being, usually after a bad year, you have a good year. So if you look at 2018, you see that 2018 was horrible too, minus 14%. But that was the bad year. What about the good year afterwards? Positive 26%, right? So think about that. If we had a minus 37% last year, can we get a repeat and see a whopping 60% gain in June? I know people tend to just focus on price, but you look at all these things, nothing has changed. Short-term holder cost basis rising, right? But Bitcoin's price is still above it. Adjusted realized price, Bitcoin is above it. The 200 weekly moving average, we are above it, right? So what does that mean? Bitcoin is pretty healthy. It's above all these metrics, right? And that means Bitcoin is gaining. So that's good. Also, I saw this. We're, in a little ascending channel right now, right? And if things continue to be good and we continue to rise, guess what's going to happen? We're just going to go up, right? It's really that simple. It's just a matter of having patience. People who have most patience usually wins, right? They're looking at it from a different perspective. Fidelity is a huge asset manager, in case you guys don't know. And Fidelity is very, very into Bitcoin. Very into Bitcoin. So they're looking at it not from a 4-year perspective, but they're looking at the network size and real rates. They have come up with something called Bitcoin regression. And you could see, if you apply it all the way back to 2015, well, I mean, Bitcoin, it's pretty close, but Bitcoin definitely overshot, especially during the peaks. So, in 2017, they kind of thought that Bitcoin would like top out around 11,000 using this regression model. Obviously, Bitcoin went a lot higher to about almost 20,000, right? And then you keep going, and then you see 2021, they kind of predicted Bitcoin should go to 43,000, and it went up to 69,000, right? So it actually overshot. So right now, it's definitely coming up from bottom. And it overshoots both ways too, because they thought that the bottom for Bitcoin should have been 17,004. We obviously went down a little bit lower because the FTX crash, right? So again, 2022 was not really normal, but we're past that. And of course, a lot of you guys are waiting for Hong Kong. What's going on with Hong Kong? Why do we not have trillions flowing in? Well, it does seem like there's a lot of licenses that are still being applied for. So look at this. So there is actually going to be a stable coin that's going to be kicking in Hong Kong. So it's definitely open for sure. But it does seem like a lot of exchanges are still trying to apply for licenses. And there's rumors that people actually have to get approved as well. So I'm still trying to verify that point. But I do know that, yeah, all major exchanges are trying to get their license. So that may slow things down. Ultimately, Hong Kong opening up is a very good thing. It's just another funnel of 8 million people coming into this space, right? And who knows when all of China's go open up, right? It's going to be phenomenal. This is just the first step in some kind of grand scheme of China. Gemini's go open in UAE, so that's good. Crypto.com is going to operate in Singapore. So everyone's trying to expand out as much as possible. Now, as for Canada, Bybit just recently said they're getting out. Binance getting out, right? But you still have some good ones. Kraken, deposits rose 25%. Coinbase still operates. Kraken operates. Gemini operates, right? So those of you guys in Canada still have plenty of options. But ultimately, what is this signal? Signals more adoption, funneling of more people and money into this space. So this next bull run will be unlike anything that we have seen before. I mean, seriously, there's so many more people will have exposure to Bitcoin, to Web3, to altcoins, to meme coins, right? The way to get in, the on-ramp systems, so much bigger and more vast than we have ever seen before, right? So come 2024, 2025, wow, it's going to be absolutely amazing.